What's cracking, y'all?
Hey.
We back again.
We are.
Right before we came on, we were just talking about how funny we are. If you listen to another podcast and then you come to us, you got to know we funny, man. You just got to know it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you just got to know it. That's my way of saying ain't no trivia for the day. This is a lot of facts in this one. It's a lot of fun facts in this one. So, y'all.
I'm excited.
Yeah, y'all. I'm excited to tell y'all about it. So, without further ado. But that's stupid. Without further ado. Why did I say that?
You say it almost every time.
Do I? Okay. Well, anyway, without further ado, 77 Flavors of Chicago.
It's Sarah.
And it's Dario.
And we traveled through all of Chicago's 77 community areas. We shared some great stories and took you to our favorite restaurants.
But you know what? There's more Chicago history and food to discover.
So join us as we connect you to the greatest city in the world.
You know why? Because this is 77 Flavors of Chicago. Hey. What's going on, y'all? We got some fun today, man.
I know.
Yeah, Sarah got a headache.
I do. I went and I got my lashes done yesterday, and you know that pillow that it's not a real pillow. It has like a dent in it. Not a dent. It has like an oval cup in it that you rest your head and neck in. So it's not like a pillow. And I already have really bad upper back pain all the time. So I must have been laying wrong. And I as soon as I sat up, I felt my neck like tense, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm gonna have a headache tomorrow, which I do, but it's not that bad.
Do you have your neck way back like that?
No, it's just like if I don't adjust myself well when I'm laying down, it's like any other like hard pillow. Like if you're you know what I mean, or like if the pillow's too soft or the pillow's too hard. My neck is like finicky. Like I need to be sleeping right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
This is y'all probably know too much about us.
More than they'd like, I think.
We don't be saying nothing, but we be saying something.
Yeah, for real. For real. How are you? What's going on?
Oh, I'm good. You know, I've been, every week it's photography. You know. And today, at the time of us recording, I got my first guitar lesson.
Hey.
Guitar, yeah. Hey, your boy about to be a guitarist in at least a month.
A guitarist.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm about to be Jimi Hendrix's protege.
Okay.
In about a month.
Nice.
Maybe two. Nice. Depending on these photography gigs.
Yeah.
I'll just be talking so much shit on this thing.
You do. Also, my mom's coming today.
Oh, that's right.
She's visiting from Jordan.
Mom's in the building.
She will be here for 6 weeks, which is her longest visit thus far. This is the first time she's ever here for the summer. Last year, she was here in May. Yeah. Left early June, so she did not get to experience Chicago summer. So I'm excited. I was like, you have to come during the summer this year. You can't visit during the winter.
Summertime shot is goated, period. We know this. Like that's one of the things that we talk about, we Chicagoans talk about, is that summertime shot is lit.
It's the best.
But
it's the best time.
If you're not in Chicago, I saw this thing, reason why this is perfect talking about. It just said that Chicago summer or I don't know if it's Chicago summer or it's just Chicago, was voted like the best destination place in America, for travel.
Wow.
So all that bullshit people be talking about us, man, like it more than New York, more than like
New York is expensive.
New York is expensive.
So we're planning a trip for New York in a couple months.
I rock with New York though.
It's fine. It's fine. I don't hate it. I love going. I love visiting. Yeah. I don't think I could live there.
Can't stay.
But literally, if we were to stay in Manhattan for the length of time that we're staying, which is not that long.
A week.
Okay. It would be like $5,000 to stay there.
That's ridiculous. We did that going to Italy.
Yeah, literally. That was all of our hotels in Europe for 2 weeks.
Right. We was there for 2 weeks and living, thriving. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
That's insane to me. And it's mind you, it's not like these are not like luxury hotels, right? This is like the Hilton Tree. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like the Double Tree by Hilton.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Which is like super average. You got a continental breakfast.
And that continental breakfast ain't really doing too much. Some of them breakfasts.
Jimmy Dean reheated.
Hey, I fuck with Jimmy Dean.
I know you do. Of course you do, because you have a basic ass palate.
But Jimmy Dean is not basic. Come on now. I think
our definition of basic is not like not seasoned, my definition of basic is that minimal effort, which is fine.
Jimmy Dean the effort is there. Look at the packaging. The effort is there. It's nice and colorful. Then the spice.
Yeah, you're definitely their target market.
I've been eating Jimmy Dean for too damn long.
You like colorful.
Yeah.
You like
the flavor.
Quick.
Yeah, right.
Simple. Flavorful. I just think there's better.
What's better than Jimmy Dean?
Well, I don't know sausage brands like that. The only reason I ever buy like specific brands of prepackaged meat is because of you. Like I buy every other meat from like a butcher or like a grocery store.
Just look, I done changed your life in a positive way. Then I did.
This in every other way, yes, but this one,
this is a positive change. Come on now, you know it. You might not like it. I mean, well, that's different. If you don't like it, that's not positive. You know what I was trying to get at.
Do you know what you were trying to get at?
Sometimes.
Also, your girl just got certified.
Hey, let's go.
To do nails.
Let's go.
Little nails. I took a 3-day intensive course. And I'm so excited.
Y'all come catch Sarah at Sarah's Nail Salon.
Is that the name?
That's what I would start out with. It's a good jump off point.
Sarah's Nail Salon.
You know, let's and then we can work down from there.
Sarah's Nails and Things.
Yeah. No. That's the shop that I go to.
At the end of the session, Daria comes out with a professional camera to take pictures.
Hey, what's up? We can tag team this. This will be fun.
I don't think you need a professional camera to take pictures of nails.
Shit, we ain't never had it then. You ain't never had that.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Who knows? I might be able to get real fancy. You come here with your hair, nails done, and then I'll take a professional headshot. Look, we on something.
Nails and headshots is the name of the salon.
Nails and head. Damn.
Nail heads.
Let's go. Nail shots.
Ooh. That's
okay. All right.
That might be interpreted incorrectly.
Yeah. Damn. Every motherfucker's coming here. And
I'm trying to get nailed by a shot.
Yeah. No, we different. We did. That's no. Yeah. Let's cut this out. Anyway, we sometimes just tell us how y'all doing. Y'all know a lot about us. Just tell us how y'all doing. How y'all week is going. Anyway, let's move on to today's topic. We kind of kicking it old school, y'all. We kind of kicking it old school. Telling you about neighborhood. Oh, yeah. We're telling you about neighborhood. So you probably saw by the title. We are talking about Harwood Heights in the hole that's in the middle of Chicago. That's kind of where this is going.
Yeah, if you didn't know, there is a portion inside of the city that is not
in the city. Yeah, not the city. Yeah.
It's not incorporated.
Yeah, it's not a part of Chicago. It's not Chicago. It's a village. It's not. 2 villages.
What did they do when they did this? They scooped up
annexed. Yes, annexed is the thing. But if you look at a map of Chicago, right, you probably see like the whole map, even that logo. You see the logo of Chicago, the outline. The logo. Yeah, our logo, the outline of Chicago, and then it's all colored in. It's all filled in, right? With the exception is there's a circle up northwest Chicago.
O'Hare-ish.
By O'Hare, where that is not technically Chicago.
Yeah.
And if you listen to the podcast, OG, you probably know we talked about the area that is not Harwood Heights and Norridge that are not part of Chicago. They were kind of like on the same storyline as Norwood Park, which Norwood Park was annexed to Chicago. The question is why and how did that little piece inside Chicago not get to become Chicago?
I guess you're gonna tell us.
I'm gonna tell y'all. So let's get into it. For this one, we're gonna start way back, right? In the 19th century.
You know what you need?
What?
You need that. That sound that like a flashback sound in Disney shows.
Yeah.
Like the.
Yeah. That. Next week we'll have that. Okay. We'll have that next week. But let's start in the 19th century. After the War of 1812 and the rebuild of Fort Dearborn. Now, War of 1812 was basically fighting over land. Like it was people fighting over land.
Just white people doing white people things.
Yeah, and the outcome of that was the Native Americans, that lived in these areas, were forced out. And then the rebuild of Fort Dearborn saw that more Americans were coming into, or Europeans were coming into different areas, again, pushing people out. And I guess at this time they were Americans, technically, 1800s. But the U.S. started buying up all the land around that area and, again, forced the indigenous people out. 1832, in this particular area where Harwood Heights and Norridge is located, the Potawatomis were there, and they were the last of the indigenous people to be kind of forced out of the area in 1832, okay? And then the first European settler, or American at that time settler, came into the area. Israel Smith moved into the area where is now Harwood Heights. But particularly if you want to go out and see and be kind of where we are talking about at this current moment, that is, you can go to St. Rosalie's Church and Parish right over there in Harwood Heights. And that is where Smith lived, right? That's where he first settled in that area. And there's a Ridgemore Park is right there also. So yes, you can go there, and that's kind of paint this picture of where we are right now. The crazy thing about like Smith, when he moved to that area, specifically, he moved there because he didn't like the way Chicago's marshy lands were. Yeah. So he moved to the prairie, like right outside of Chicago. It was like, yo, this is where I want to be.
Yeah, that shit lit.
Yeah, he was like, and
then he lit the prairie on fire.
Yes, no. So yes. Fast forward real quick for him. Smith died in 1904. The reason why I told you the little piece about Chicago is because this is kind of it's just pay attention, follow along with your boy. Yeah. Now I'm gonna give you a whole bunch of dates, and y'all probably gonna be like, well, what does all this matter? It matters, okay? 1831. Okay. Cook County was formed. Okay. The year right before the Potawatomis, the last of it, was pushed out, right? Yeah. 1849, the township of Jefferson was formed, okay? Now...
Oh, by the way, if people are listening to this in time, Jeff Fest, which is Jefferson Park, is musical festival, is happening August 4th and 5th.
Let's go.
You guys want to check that out?
Yeah, let's go. So they were formed in 1849. You know that's huge because that was where... 13 or 18 of the community areas were formed.
What's the other really large township that got incorporated?
Town of Lake?
Lake?
Yeah, Lake. There was Lake. There was...
But like the largest ones were Lake and Jefferson.
Yeah, I think so. Yep. 1851, Cook County then purchased 100 acres of land, right? And this land they gave to the poor people and like the destitute, and they called them crazy. This is where they put the crazy people. And if you remember, listen to the podcast again. If you are an OG, Dunning was the name of this area. Fun fact about Dunning, and I think we said this when we talked about it, but if we didn't, here we go again. Dunning used to be called Jefferson. Yes, the area known as Dunning, that became Dunning, was known as Jefferson. Wow. So, fun fact there. 1871, the Great Chicago Fire happened, and Dunning became the place where all those bodies went. Yeah. So, and keep in mind, there was a lot of unidentified bodies. Right. But because they were treating Dunning like the redhead stepchild, that's where they put all the bodies, and they just dumped that in there with the crazy people, right? Because they didn't really respect those people. And then
I think didn't respect is being very nice.
They didn't give a fuck about those people. They didn't give a fuck about them, basically. Go check out the Dunning episode. We talked about that. Yeah. 1873, 2 years later, the township, Norwood Park Township, was formed. Now, the reason why I tell you all that is because 1889, that's when the annexation happened. So now you kind of see what's going on in that area, okay? Painting that picture. There was a lot of growth in this area, okay? Things are starting to move up with these new townships being formed. There was actually...
So we had 50 years from when Cook County was made, created, and started, to 1889 annexation.
Yes. Okay. And now
annexation of everything but.
Yeah, well, we'll get there. Yeah, okay. We'll get there. So, and which is crazy because 1889 was huge for annexation.
Right.
Huge.
Yeah.
There was only a few other places, in the very, very early 20th century that got annexed, right? It was, I think it was like a couple other community or a few other communities, and then a couple of them, obviously, we know were
Chicago
built.
was lit at the time.
Yeah, at that time, and we on the cusp of the First World's Fair,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And then
we're trying to show off with all this land.
Yeah, we tricking off. You know what I mean? Look what we got here: fruits and berries up in this bitch.
Look at all this prairie land.
You know. So we going through like a little boom right now, and of course that's where we are. In this area, particular Harwood Heights, 1913, the first electricity lines were dropped. And it gave power to the homes there. 3 years later, 1916, gas lines were dropped. So now you see what's going on here. You see, okay, like we doing big things right here. Your boy Smith had he had a vision. He had a vision.
He basically wanted to like create a little town.
He was doing it. He was creating a little town. But then 1929. The Great Depression. the Great Depression came.
Don't laugh.
I'm not laughing. I'm just
laugh.
Whatever. The shit came and they did start messing up stuff, right? 1939 though, in the midst of the Great Depression, there was a development company that said, you know what, we're gonna build some houses, for some people, right?
Okay.
They built the houses, around 70 plus houses, and then in this area where they built the houses, they built a tavern. There was a tavern that built, and so this was like a place to commune for the people, right?
You had the church, now you have the tavern.
You got the church, and you got the church came a little bit later, right? The church came later.
That's just where he lived.
Yes, currently, yeah. But currently in this place where the tavern is still a pub there called Landmark Pub. And it is in place of where the tavern was. And around that, Sarah and I went. And we saw that.
We did. It was packed.
Packed. Like it is packed.
And they have like a large back patio or front side patio, something. Yeah. And it was full of people.
Motorcycles
people were like, pulling up in their motorcycles and just doing Harwood things.
Yeah.
I don't know what
they were doing Harwood.
Yeah.
Weight calls. But that's really cool. So if you wanted to go out there,
it looked really cool. I was like, I wish we had time to stop for a drink or something because it looked so fun.
That would be fun. But around that area, it's still the same vibe as that 1938, right? You got a pub and you got places around it. There's a church across the street. There's, so yeah, so it's pretty lit around there.
Yeah.
But we still don't know why Harwood Heights is not a part of Chicago.
Tell us.
Yeah, here we go. All
right, so we're in 1939.
1939, Great Depression is nearing its end, right? Right around 1950, 45, right? Like towards like the real end of the Great Depression, right?
And World War II.
And World War II is about to start up, man. The businesses and homes were in the area, and so you kind of changed that feel of like the prairie land, farmland of what that area was, right? So the people were kind of like, we don't really like this because the roads.
Right. So it's not as like quiet anymore.
No, it's not quiet. And things are not going well. So like the more people you bring in,
the more problems.
Yeah, the more problems. So there was crime there, so there was no police. There were the roads that they had weren't paved, so you anytime it rained, it was like muddy. It was just bad. The water was bad there. All the things that you would get if you were annexed to a city, now keep in mind, we are 50, 60 years almost past the major annexation, right? 1889. Yeah. So what happened there? The people of the area, excuse me.
Wow. How? You haven't even had anything to eat.
This water is bubbly. I don't know.
It's not. It's still water.
Anyway, the people of the area were like, hey, we want to be annexed to Chicago. So they went to City Hall of Chicago and said, hey, how about this proposition we got for you?
You could take our little land.
Right. Chicago said no. And Chicago said no repeatedly.
That's wild.
Yeah, right. Chicago said no repeatedly. And until one resident of the area and a World War II vet, his name was Herbert Huning.
Hunning Huning.
Yeah, right. He went and he visited City Hall and said, "Hey," and I'm painting this picture. I don't know if this is accurate account, but I feel like he was like their last ditch effort from what we kind of read. He went there and was like, "Yo, come on now, Chicago,
take this shit."
Yeah. Like, here's what we got going on. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, because like they didn't have access to all the infrastructure from the city. Mind you, a lot of the towns that were annexed didn't see the stuff until very late. Like Jefferson Township, not all of it got the infrastructure right away.
Right.
You know what I mean? Oh. Didn't they have a fire and the fire department couldn't help? You know what I mean? So like it didn't guarantee that you were going to get help immediately.
Right. Yes.
But in the long run.
Yeah. And so that's key because that's why I gave you those dates. Cook County, then Jefferson Township, then the purchase of all this land, then the fire, so that's why I gave you that timeline because I feel like that was important to see where annexation happened. Now you got this area of land
50-some years later.
Yeah, that is still not annexed to Chicago, and Chicago at that point was kind of like, nah, we just don't want this land.
Now they're being petty.
Yeah, right. Chicago was like, we didn't have no need for it from what it feels like reading all the history, right? After that mess, they thought, right? A couple years, they were like, look, well, why don't we just become our own village? Why don't we just become and do it ourselves, right? And so that's what they did. Herbert Honey, he basically got everybody together, got the votes. I think it was a land wash, of votes. It was hand over fist, right? That they wanted to do it.
Why wouldn't they want to?
There were some people that didn't. That were like, no, we just. Some people already had a stank attitude.
Why?
They probably was pissed off already. Oh. They probably was like, nah, fuck it. They don't want us. We don't want them. So now we are in 1947 when this is all going down, right? And they voted. They said, yes, we'll become our own village, right? Okay. And so they did. And now how they got the name is a mystery, okay? This is like a mystery. Nothing confirmed here. Yeah. But they named it Harwood, okay? And Harwood comes from Harlem Avenue, which is a major street.
Does it run through Harwood? Okay.
Yep, runs through a couple different community areas, right through there.
It's huge.
In that particular area, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then the Wood Park comes from Norwood Park, which is like if you go back to the episode Norwood Park, you'll understand that Norwood Park, Harwood Heights, and Norridge all kind of like were band together, right? So
Norwood Park abandoned them.
Norwood Park was like, shit, they got good water. What you mean? Yeah. Y'all could be on your own. But so that's where Harwood came from. Later on,
where does Heights come from?
Later on, Heights came from them paying homage, or apparently what they say, they pay homage to the highest point in the village, which is where the first resident, Israel Smith, lived, where currently St. Rosalie is. So
that is the highest point.
That was the highest point.
Flat as hell.
Right, well now. Yeah. But imagine back then if it was all
a little hill.
So that's the highest point. And keep in mind, the highest point in Chicago is 100 feet. Yeah. like so, for them, 50 feet was probably like, oh shit, I can see over their head. And like
wild.
Another note here, before we tie this up with a bow. Norridge is the reason why I haven't told you the story of Norridge is because it's very similar to Chicago, to Harwood Heights.
Yeah.
Norridge name came from a person said, hey, look, we're gonna call it Nor as in Norwood, and then the ridge part came from another high point, and that it was on like this little, plateau type thing that they felt at the time, right? So, and then or Park Ridge, right? So, which is close by also. Yeah. So that's where they get their name from. And this story is very similar. All this started with Harwood Heights. Now, let's move on here, right? So now they voted to be incorporated. Their first mayor, Herbert Huney. They were like, yo,
Herbert Huney.
Yep, right. He was the mayor. His town hall, y'all guess where his town hall was?
Where?
It was in the basement.
What basement?
His basement of his home. Basement. Yeah, in his basement of his home.
That's where I would have my first time.
You know what I'm saying? Shit. Have a couple people over, we drinking, talking about, hey, look, we got the new city, y'all. What we trying to do?
I mean, they were probably all friends already.
They was.
You know what I mean?
I bet.
Yeah.
And they probably loved him.
I honestly feel like Harwood Heights is definitely the kind of place where everyone knows everyone.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it has that vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Super suburban, like, would kill my soul on the inside to live there. But I feel like for the community, it's definitely
a vibe.
Like a community vibe.
Yeah, definitely a vibe. Yeah.
It felt that way. Everyone was like hanging out in the same spot. I mean, sick. I don't know. I've never lived there, but if it definitely feels that way. Like, I bet you they have only a couple schools, so everyone went to the same school. Like, you know. Which,
if you do more your own research on this, everything you just talked about is stuff that I kind of took out to kind of sum this thing up. But the schools were big because they still use Chicago's public transportation.
Right.
The schools are their own, okay? Yeah. And between Norwood Park, which is Chicago, and then Norridge, they all kind of still go to the same, like, schooling and stuff like that. You know what I mean? They kind of pulled those kind of resources, but Chicago did give them that. Now, one final note here. So 1947, the fall of 1947 is when they voted to become incorporated as their own village. It wasn't until they became official the next year. Guess what day, y'all?
What day?
March 4th, 1948.
That is, they got the last laugh.
Yes, they did. If y'all don't know what that day is off the top of your head, that is also Chicago's birthday. So not only did they say, nah, you know what? We don't need you. They said our incorporation day, the official date, is the same day as y'all's birthday. So next time you celebrate Chicago's birthday, March 4th, you gotta give it up to the pettiest town in all of Illinois, Harwood Heights. So there you go, Harwood Heights. This one is for you.
This is our first suburban episode.
Hey. Did we just complete some history?
You guys, the floodgates are open.
The floodgates open.
We're going to the suburbs.
Whoa, wait a minute. We did just do the first city outside of Chicago. Town, whatever it is, outside of Chicago.
Yeah.
Holy cow, y'all. So, Chicago podcast but this technically was a Chicago story.
Yeah.
Kind of.
But also, everything... Chicago is so self-centered that everything is a Chicago story. I could tell you any town and we could link it to Chicago. We can link it to Chicago,
right. We can link New York to Chicago. I'll let your boy. Anyway, but we ate, but we ate back in Chicago. We ate in Chicago.
Yeah, but it was very close. We ate in Portage Park.
So,
yeah. So let's take a little break.
People of Chicago, of Harwood Heights, listen to this next part. This is for you.
All right, we are back, and let's talk about what we ate today. It was really good spot.
Oh my God!
This is not a hidden gem by any means. This is a community favorite. If you live in the area, or if you, if you enjoy fish, you probably know about this place. But we went to Hagen's Fish Market. And I've only been there like one or two times before this. Yeah. My mom is a huge fish person, so I took her there the last time she came to visit. But we went back because it kind of reminds me of Calumet Fisheries
a lot
in the terms of like they make smoked fish, they have fried fish, but
I feel like the only difference is that they're not on a river.
Well, it's a different vibe. I would say
it's a little bit different.
They're both old as shit.
47.
Yeah,
46
46 for Higgins. But the place is. The people that work there are absolutely wonderful.
Right.
They literally stopped what they were doing and they like stood there and started talking to us. Everything we ordered was their recommendation, and so. I can't wait for you to hear a little bit about the history from one of the people that works there. They were absolutely so generous with their time. So we'll cut to that real quick, and then we'll come back to talk about the food.
Yes.
The current owners are Scott and Julie Johnson, and there's been a name change because they got married. But basically, Julie and her sister Tammy Scott, who's the husband, are the owners of the store. And Julie's grandpa is pictured over there with the Boy Scouts. And they were actually here like eating fish with the Boy Scouts. So it's kind of like a really big picture, and they like talk about it all the time. Yeah. But basically, what happened was it's been passed down so long, and it's been here so long that they replaced pretty much everything in the store. But when the store was here and it was open for the first time, there was no houses or anything built in the area because we've been open since 1946.
Hey.
So Yeah, so it's a pretty significant deal because with all the like small businesses closing and all that, it was really important to the family that this stay open because like throughout like the whole years and everything, like they have this business to stay together. There have been like a ton of updates to the menu, like the fried food, like the fryers didn't always used to be there. But the second that they were installed, Hagen's increased profit by like
of course
a large amount.
Like we smelled it as soon as we got out of the car.
Oh yes, like, definitely the store smells like fish. Yes.
But it smells like fried fish on the outside. It was crazy.
Oh yes, the smell carries far. It is one of the pros about working here is that the smell definitely lasts.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of the people who come in here, actually every other customer who comes in here will be like, my grandpa used to take me here, or like it's literally every other customer. Like my dad used to come here. I was here since I was small. Like mostly the people who come here are from the Portage Park area or have lived here forever and ever and ever. Hagen's usually, we're trying to reach a younger market, but I mean, fish is more of an adult food in general because you have to cook it in like a specific way. You know, you usually have to cook it in a pan or in an oven or whatever, and like college kids don't do that.
But you can buy it cooked. You can. Or smoked.
But I'm one of those adults that she's talking about that are kids that don't cook.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the things that Hagen's has always had are our salmon candies over here. And basically, like, this is just brown sugar and maple syrup and honey. It's just our salmon candy. It's what we're known for. It's what we're published for. So, I mean, it's kind of a whole thing. And then we also have our barbecue salmon candy, which is the same thing but with rib rub on it, which is fantastic. And then we also have our garlic and pepper salmon, which is just the same thing but just with garlic and pepper. So honestly, it's just kind of like a lunch and then like a fancier lunch and then a dessert fish is what I would say for those. And, you know, Hagen's likes to buy from locally sourced stuff. Like the honey here is from a guy who's literally my neighbor, like 2 doors down.
Wow.
So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, like it's really a neighborhood place. And the people who come here usually live here and they just keep coming here, you know what I mean? So we have like a large amount of regulars that, you know, me and my coworker Nick can recognize in like a heartbeat just because they come in so often. So yeah, there's that. And like
Hagen, give her a raise, man. Give her a raise, Hagen. She's doing Lord's work.
Our biggest times where we've had like a large amount of people are Christmas and Lent, because you know, like for the fish. But literally line out the door long. Like in New Year's Eve, we gave out like, I don't know, like so many cocktail trays that there was literally like a line into the parking lot and so on. It was like negative whatever. And well, I mean, we were fine, you know, because we were in the store, but like we, and during Christmas, we'll run through the number roll, which goes from 0 to 99. Maybe 3 times in an hour.
Oh, wow.
We'll be like fully, we'll be fully, it gets crazy at Christmas. So if you really wanted to film, you should film then. Because we have like 14 to 18 people back here. And then like pretty much like whatever the maximum capacity to bring all the people who work here is, like they're there for like the 3-week break of Christmas. Because the majority of the people who work at Hagen's, and really, I mean, you can find this at any kind of like standard food industry, but they're teenagers. Right. And so whenever they're off on break, they're here at Hagen's. So, which is also cool. A lot of the stuff that we go through is like from other countries. Like we've got the Swedish thins, and like honestly, Tammy, who's one of the sisters, does all the ordering for the groceries and all that. But they try and like grab stuff on the shelves for just like from other places, because we have a large amount of like people who are Polish or like just like who like very specific foods. Like we've got the lingonberries and we've got like a bunch of other stuff. But we also have a lot of foodies who like making stuff to take pictures of, you know, so we've got the king crab legs, we've got the expensive lobster tails, we've got, you know, a bunch of other stuff, and you know, so yeah, I mean, we smoke everything. Like you can bring in your own fish and we'll only smoke it for like $2 a pound. So like if you have a $6 fish, that's $12 to smoke it.
Wow.
So I mean, 6 pounds, you know what I mean. And but like we literally do it in the smokehouse. So
why would you get your own fish though when you could just get it from?
If you want to,
well, it's
I guess
it's cheaper because you don't have to pay the like the price for having it shipped. Yeah. Like Hagen's has their own truck guy who goes and picks up the fish from the lake and the ocean and all that. So that's like an additional cost and all that. But yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for telling us about the history. This was fun.
I mean, we are known for like doing the fishing smoking thing. Like that's like that is one of the Hagen's main priorities. But honestly, most of the money comes in for the fried food, which is fantastic.
Well, we about to eat.
I'm so hungry. I am so ready to eat. I don't have a mic, but I hope you can hear me.
Let's get it. Let's eat.
Okay, so let's talk about what we ate today.
Yeah.
So like I said, everything we ordered was a recommendation. We got some of their more popular things on the menu from their fried food and from their smoked fish, right? So we started off with the half pound of fish chips.
Oh my goodness.
Which I would say is like a fish nugget but flat, and it's like the natural shape of a fish fillet, because like this is not processed fish. They bread it and fry it in house, so like it's not gonna look like a perfect nugget. It's literally like a fish chip.
But it was perfect.
It was so.
But it was perfect.
It was so good. The breading is. I don't want to call it breading. The batter that they fried it in is very flavorful.
Whoo, y'all!
And that half pound is.
It's a nice half pound. That's a good half pound, y'all. Like you could do that by yourself, but you take it slow.
Yeah.
Take it slow because you can get some fries to go with it. You need some fries.
You do. Their fries are really good too.
Fries are really good.
This is the like we've had fries from multiple different places in the last like month
that
or
have
so
been
that
slapping.
have been really good fries.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, but those fish chips, y'all, woo. So they said the fried stuff is kind of like their more popular stuff.
Yes.
But
they said for like the younger crowd, people come in there for the fried, already cooked food, and then people that actually know how to cook or have access to cooking.
She looked me dead in the eye, y'all. I just want y'all to know that.
Will buy like the full fish or whatever, because they sell frozen, fresh frozen seafood. So like you can get crabs, scallops, all that kind of stuff. They sell fresh fish. I believe if I saw correctly, everything is wild caught, so there's no like farmed fish.
Right.
Some of the smoked fish I saw is farmed in Canada, but everything else is the fresh fish is Alaskan, like wild salmon.
Yeah.
They do have specials constantly. Like right now, their special is shrimp kebabs. So they skewer shrimp and vegetables, and it's like $6 a skewer, and the skewer is very large.
And I bet you it slap. Yeah. I bet you that's like.
Yeah, they season it for you. They have some like seafood salads that you can order.
They got, we gonna talk about it, but they got like these salmon things that are just absolutely.
Oh, the salmon candy.
Yeah, the salmon candy. Oh my God,
But I wanted to kind of spend a minute to talk about what isn't the fried or the smoked fish, because they have other things. They also can source fish for you. So like if you ask for a specific, if you go in and you ask if they have something, and if they don't, you give them notice and they can try and find it for you. They also can smoke fish for you. So like if you bring in your own fish, they can smoke it for $2 a pound. They have a section that is a bit of a grocery section, so they have all kinds of crackers, all kinds of like toppers for your little boards, some tinned fish that's imported. So it really caters to the community, because there's a lot of like Norwegian Polish, and so a lot of those pickled herring and stuff like that that like is very popular in those communities, and specific kinds of dishes are easily accessible in the area.
Pretty fire.
Yeah.
Pretty fire.
But let's talk about the food.
Yeah.
All right. So we started off with the fish chips.
Yep. We talked about it.
We talked about it. And then we got a pound of the fried shrimp.
Okay. Now, favorite. We were talking about favorite. I don't know if this is my favorite.
Okay.
But y'all, this shrimp, I love shrimp.
Yeah, I know.
And these were to perfection, y'all.
They were.
Right now,
so good.
If I have to say, this is a nice little bag too. They are again. Was it half pound?
A pound.
A pound. You get a lot in that pound, y'all. You get a lot.
Yep.
So I would say definitely grab some of those.
Yep.
You can easily pop those. One bag is good enough for you. Get some fries, and you good there.
Yeah.
Oh my God, these were so perfect.
So good.
It did. You know what makes a good shrimp when it's breaded like that is that it don't taste like shrimpy, fishy.
It's not fishy. Any seafood that tastes fishy, don't eat it.
Right. It's probably not cooked the best. You know what I mean, or whatever. Something wrong with it, but. It is so damn good, y'all. Oh my goodness.
They also have spicy popcorn shrimp, which we didn't get, but that is also on their deep fried seafood menu.
But what we did get was the shrimp po' boy.
Oh yeah, we did get the shrimp. These were all recommendations. So we got the shrimp po' boy, which is about like a 6-inch sandwich. It comes with lettuce, tomato, and whatever Spices, sauce. Yeah. And it's not spicy like hot. It has a little bit of a kick to it, maybe a little bit more than a black pepper.
Y'all,
but it was.
This might have been.
Yeah, Dario only let me have 2 bites.
No, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. I'll be honest though, I couldn't stop smacking it.
I know.
I don't know. That might be 1A. The other ones are 1B, C, and D.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's hard for me to pick which one, but that is definitely 1A. I tell you that much. Y'all,
I kind of want to try their other sandwiches that are on their menu because they have other stuff on there.
They do. They got the fish chip sandwich,
the crispy fish fillet, the crispy chicken breast, and the shrimp po' boy are their 3 sandwiches. The shrimp po' boy is $11. The crispy fish and crispy chicken are $7 each.
Hey,
so
you're going to get your mama? Slide down.
I know, honestly.
Honestly.
No,
let's make these plans.
For real.
Yeah, let's make these plans.
Yeah.
Your mom, you hungry? Let's go.
I know, for real.
Give me one of the po' boys and then every other sandwich too.
Yeah.
Because that shit was smacking, y'all. Then we got the cheese curds.
Yes.
The cheese curds were good.
They were so good.
Yeah, they were good. Now that I would probably say get a larger thing of those.
Yeah,
because we got the smaller one, I think.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like I would say get a larger amount because they're very, very, very good. And like we love cheese curds, and probably some of the best cheese curds go.
It's a quarter pound for like $3.60. So
do the half pound at least, because I bet you gonna like them so much you gonna want them. But we like cheese curds. It's some of the best. It goes without saying. Was up in Wisconsin, right? Yeah. There's some of the best out there. These might be some of the best ones, that we had since.
And the thing about them is they try to source as much local stuff. Even the stuff that they sell in their grocery section is as much of it as they can is local, right? Yeah. So I bet you the cheese is from Wisconsin. Like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of this stuff is local.
But they said some of the stuff, the honey, the stuff was straight from the farm.
They were like, the guy lives right next door.
Yeah, right. She was like, he lived right next door to me. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. They also have on their deep fried sides, they other than the fries and the cheese curds, they have hush puppies, onion rings, mushrooms, calamari rings, clam strips, tater tots,
everything,
crab cakes. We are gonna get the crab cakes next time.
Yeah, we're gonna have to,
because we tried a sample of the seafood salad, and they're like, if you like the seafood salad, you're gonna love the crab cakes. And the crab cakes are made with real crab, so
let's go.
They're not imitation crab. So
well, first of all, what is imitation crab? When she said that, had me shook because I was like, well, what the hell have I been eating?
Every time you eat crab that's not a crab leg, like if you eat at a sushi restaurant that is like you know what I mean? Like you're not paying an obscene amount of dollars for the roll, you're probably eating imitation crab.
So what is that? What is it?
Well, let me see.
Hold on.
I think it depends on the brand.
Y'all, what are we eating?
It's made with a paste made out of finely shredded or pulverized fish.
So what? So they just faking it? They just getting a regular ass fish. And
it's just cheaper than crab. Crab can be very expensive because it's market price. So like whatever, it's like eating. It's not cheap. That's why when people get paid, they trick off and eat crab legs.
Crab legs, which they got there. They got crab legs.
They do. Too. You can buy.
She said for the pictures, she was like, we got them there because people like the pictures. Taking pictures.
She's like, for the people that want expensive things, you can get. We have crab legs and expensive lobster. I was like, good to know.
The last thing was the salmon candy, right? That was the last things.
Yeah. So that we got from their smoked fish section, and they have a bunch of different smoked fish in different flavors. We got the salmon candy, the garlic pepper salmon, and the barbecue salmon, and so they're all very thin fillets, right? And they're seasoned very, very well and then smoked. So you get the taste of the seasoning and the smokiness. And if you've never had smoked fish, I'm not talking like lox. I'm talking it's actually put in a smoker. Yeah. And it is literally one of the, like, if you enjoy lox, you're going to enjoy. I think you're going to enjoy smoked salmon. It's absolutely delicious. It adds like a little bit, that smoky flavor is really good. Yeah. Excuse me. So we tried the barbecue one. Yes. The candy and the garlic pepper are sitting in our fridge right now, which we're going to have right after this for breakfast.
Right. Your boy got softball. I gotta go play softball real quick. Right. We're going to have it after that.
Yeah, for real. But the barbecue salmon was so good. It's
fire.
It's a dry rub barbecue, so it's not like...
It's got a little bit of that candy on it.
Sticky, a little sticky. Yeah. But like it's not like wings in barbecue sauce. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to describe it. Like you just peel off a little piece and you eat it. It's delicious.
Yes. Yeah. Honestly, like
I absolutely love it.
As a snack, it definitely is like a candy type.
Think of like crackers and a little bit of cream cheese and a little bit of salmon, a bite of salmon.
Shit, y'all, I don't even need all that. Just put them bitches out in the platter right there, and we good. I'ma eat. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like
so good.
Yes, I can imagine just sitting there. Good party favor. You know what I mean? Like very good party.
There was actually a couple in there that was checking out as we were waiting for our stuff to get done, our food to get ready. And they were going to a party. They were dressed so nice. I was like, I want to go to the party you guys are going to. And they had bought 3 jars of pickled herring and some crackers. And they said the best appetizer that they usually make for parties is a baked potato cut in half and a little bit of sour cream and pickled herring and some like dill or chives. And I was like, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And I want to try it. So
we should have got some. What's funny is
we have some in the fridge. Remember we bought it from the shop.
That's right. Damn, we still got that? Mm-hmm. Okay. So what's funny about them though is after that was done, they were like, so what did you all get? They saw bags and bags of shit. We were like, we run this podcast. That's all. For real. They were like, oh, okay. We were like, we overindulge sometimes.
we often overbuy.
Dude was like, that's a good job. I was like, yeah, it is. Let me tell you.
For real. It is. It's super fun. The smoked fish. I just want to point out the pricing because it's not too expensive. Obviously, it's the cost per pound, but the 3 pieces of smoked salmon were $22, and then all of the fried food that we got was $38. So
that's not bad.
Generally, I feel like that's not bad at all. And we were super full, and we had leftovers.
Yes.
So
and we talked about going to get more. So like that. That's good pricing. Right.
And that smoked salmon stays fresh for 7 days because they smoke it in-house and they smoke multiple times a week. So you're not eating like
old smoke. Yeah. Old shit. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's without a doubt, this is a place that you need to go if you're in the Northwest side. Hell, if you're coming back home from Chicago and you anywhere south, most likely you are, it's worth a ride from O'Hare.
I think so.
If you got that time to like, oh man, I'm back home. Let me go ahead and get some food before I go back home. You might not be back up to the north side like this, often.
And they have a couple tables outside that you can sit on. Like they have their own parking lot, so parking is super easy. They're very friendly. Yeah. Definitely recommend it. I think it's a great little
a nice little break from the norm. You know what I mean?
If you like fish and you want fresh fish, it's a great place to go and buy some fresh fish.
Yeah. And honestly, because we were saying as we were sitting down eating, this is like the equivalent of Calumet Fisheries. Yeah. You got one on the north, one on the south.
Except I don't think Calumet Fisheries sells fresh fish.
I don't think
they just do smoked and fried.
Yeah, right. Well, most of this stuff though, I mean, they get it right by the river. Right. You know what I mean? Right. That's that branch. But
Higgins, they have their own trucker that goes and picks up the fresh fish. So if you do order fish in advance and they know what date you want it, they will pick it up for you.
Yep. And then they know about the seasons too. Yep. Yeah.
And then if you don't know anything about fish, I didn't eat fish until I was in my 20s, so I never knew too much about fish. So when I went in the first time, I was like, what do you recommend? Yeah. This is my palate. Yeah. This is what I enjoy. What should I get? And they literally will tell you. They're super helpful. They're good at it. And I really want to shout out the people that were working there. They seemed like super young kids, and they were so nice.
But
and they were so helpful.
They locked in.
They were so excited to talk to us, and we really appreciate it. We love when we go into a place and the people love working there, and they want to tell you about where they work.
That made the food better.
I know.
It always does. It always make the food better.
So I think we had a great time.
We did.
So if you enjoyed this episode, send it to someone you like. The best way to support us is to listen, is to engage, is to follow us on socials, to send this podcast to someone. That is your way of paying us without actually paying us.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate it because that's how we get people with money to pay us.
Yeah. Right. That's a fact.
If you did not like this episode, that's all right. Check out next week's episode. Maybe you'll like it more.
Right. Come on back. Just give us another try. We good.
If you want to hear Dario smacking, go listen to last week's episode. He ate cake.
I did eat the cake on that. But I eat that cake later on.
Wow.
Bye.
Wow. Hey, thank you so much for listening. We really hope you enjoyed that. Please follow us on all social media at 77 Flavors Shy. And if you have any ideas and things you want to learn about, please email us at media@77flavorsshy.com.
Yeah, and if you could, also head on over to our YouTube channel, same thing, 77 Flavors Shy, and give us a follow, give us a like, and give us a good rating there. Make some comments. Go ahead and subscribe. We love y'all. See you next week.